Cursed. Cursed. We all go a little mad sometimes.
There's a formula to it. A very simple formula.
I saw the boogeyman. I saw him outside.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Hey everybody, welcome to a brand new episode of Tomb of Terrors with me, Old Man Brad. Whether you are new to the show or returning for another episode, thank you so much for giving me a listen. If you love the show, drop me a review on your favorite podcast app or become a patron, patreon.com/oldmanbrad. Also, make sure to follow me on social media. Just look for Old Man Brad or Tomb of Terrors on Blue Sky and Instagram. And of course, make sure you're following me on Letterboxd so you can see all the watches that I do. This episode, I'll be talking about the new film Lockbox that hits theaters July 3rd. And I have an interview with director of the movie, Daniel Stamm, and two of the stars in the film, Katharine Isabelle and Lou Taylor Pucci. Excited for you to hear that interview. Had a blast talking to them. But before we dive into that, if you are in the Cincinnati area, come out to Frightful Fridays on the third Friday of the month. So thankful to be partnered with the Esquire Theater to host a horror screening each month. This year has been an absolute blast. We've done Italian horror, we've done zombie films. Now we're going to do a little throwback summer slasher for July. On July 17th, we're going to have The Burning from 1981. Pumped to be able to screen this. Come out July 17th at 10 p.m. and let's watch a movie together. Okay, it's time to unlock the Lockbox.
The coroner says Bonaventure died sometime Tuesday night. Your cousin Ellen said you have a history of wandering after dark.
Have you ever been to Bonaventure's house?
Did you murder Bonaventure? I'm gonna need a verbal response on this.
Winthrop is not a murderer. And from the moment I met Bonaventure, you could tell something was very off.
A woman puts everything on the line to defend her enigmatic cousin from a dangerous, otherworldly entity determined to track him down. Directed by Daniel Stamm, this stars Carla Gugino, Katharine Isabelle, Lou Taylor Pucci, and others. As I said, this hits theaters July 3rd, and this is a movie that is based off of the Knife Point Horror Podcast, who they do these horror stories, and they have this Lockbox story that this is based off of. It was announced recently that another Knife Point podcast story, I think it's called Fiona, is in the works as another film coming out. And I'll say after this one, I'm kind of curious to not only see what the next one is, I am curious to go listen to this story to kind of see the story that this movie was based around, because I'm not going to give much away here at the beginning because I want to give my thoughts after the interview. This movie has some dark moments and some twists that I enjoyed, and overall I did enjoy this movie. But I'll talk more about that after our interview. So why don't we dive into my interview with Daniel, Katharine, and Lou, and I will talk to you on the other side. My guests today are no strangers to the horror world, with such films as The Last Exorcism, Evil Dead 2013, Ginger Snaps, and so many more. Here to talk about their new film, Lockbox, which is in theaters July 3rd. I'm excited to welcome in director Daniel Stamm and two of the stars of the show, Katharine Isabelle and Lou Taylor Pucci. How are you three doing today?
Hey, Brad. Great. Thank you for having us.
So what drew you to Lockbox?
To me, the big selling point when I read the script was how unpredictable it was. Every moment of the script, I had no idea what was going to come next. And every time I thought I knew what was going to come next, something completely different happened. And that's something that's really rare when most scripts you are being offered remind you of something. And it's like, oh, this is a version of that and that. And this one wasn't a version of anything. This one was completely its own thing. And that's because in Soren Narnia, who wrote the podcast episode that this is based on, is a complete lunatic and doesn't give a shit and just is so creative that he just writes stories the way he wants to. He probably didn't spend a second thinking about structure, and especially about movie structure, 3-act structure, expectations, all that. He just kind of went for it, and it was amazing.
For me, I would say it's when a character is fully created on the page and you know it. All the military, the emaciated face, just what he has been through in his life. Winthrop has gone through a lot, and the challenge of it being do all that, but you don't get to say a lot of lines. You just have to see it in this person's face and their eyes, what they've gone through their whole life. That's a massive challenge. And then for the script to be so original and keep moving in surprise ways, and then for me to be able to play these other type of monstrous characters was so fun.
I think for me, when I first got the material, it was just a few pages for Vana for an audition. And I did not care what the rest of this movie was like. I was just like, she is rad and I love her. And she's crazy and she's vulnerable and she's dangerous and she's funny and she's manic and she's kind of everything I look for in a character. And then you add on, yes, this wild, unpredictable roller coaster of a story and all these other fully fleshed out characters who you are kind of falling in love with, but don't know if you should because you kind of have a feeling that they're going to freak out and do something horrific at any moment, but you're not sure like how or what or when. It kind of had everything for me. So yeah, I was enthralled from the beginning.
Did any of you, after you read the script and you came on board, did you listen to the podcast story before you started filming?
I didn't listen to it before we started filming. I think it was during, but it was just sort of in curiosity.
Yeah.
I really didn't want it to inform me, but at the same time, I just wanted to make sure that there wasn't anything that I was going to find in that might actually be an interesting take that it's not in the script. So I was like, let's just see it. And then it's the same, it feels like the same story. It really is, just in a completely different medium. And that medium works for it as well. Because I really enjoyed listening to the podcast. It was good. And the story really takes you on a different, it's like done from different perspectives. It's such a different way of formatting the story, but the script is the same. I mean, it's the same thing.
I listened to it before because I kind of Googled, like, what is this? I knew it was something like a podcast, and I ended up down like a Reddit rabbit hole of people talking about it. And so I was like, I think maybe I should listen to this and just sort of see what the vibe is. And again, yeah, I didn't want it to inform too much or change my opinion of what I was already kind of thinking about doing. But it was nice to get the gist of it, and it kind of set a nice cozy tone for this spooky mystery that I enjoyed thoroughly listening to it. So yeah, it wasn't something I drew from completely, but it was nice to have that as an asset.
I actually, because I'm a very, very slow reader, it takes me hours and hours and hours, and they sent me 2 scripts, 2 Knife Point horror scripts, actually. Winthrop at the time, Lockbox was called Winthrop being one, with links to the podcast. So of course, lazily, I was like, let me check out this podcast, So I listened to the Winthrop podcast and called my agent and had to pretend I had read both scripts and was now making an informed decision to do Winthrop. But when I said I want to do Winthrop, I had not read the second script at all. I just loved Winthrop so much that I was like, there is no way the second one is better. I still haven't read it. I don't know. Maybe it is, but I knew that I wanted to make this movie before I even read the script for the first time. And then luckily the script was amazing. Maybe I should read that second script. I don't know that Kiri even knows that to this day. Because you don't think about, you make up a little lie where you go like, it doesn't matter. And then you have to carry that through.
And then you expose yourself later during the press.
Especially because I think it made her insecure about I don't want to say the name of the movie right now, but it kind of made her insecure about the second script because she thought I violently rejected the second script because I gave her the impression that, no, this is the one, and I think if I had loved the other one, we would have made that one, whatever it is, So that's when I felt bad about that lie, when Kiri felt insecure about
lying is too difficult. I can't keep up lies. I'm an open book. I'm very honest.
Actor in real life.
I'm really bad.
Everyone's
I'm really bad too.
You're really bad at lying. I don't know how you get a job.
I know. People say that to me all the time, and I'm like, I don't think it's the same.
Different.
I was like, speaking of unpredictable, I didn't expect that.
I don't know if I should even confess to that.
All of you mentioned, this story, this engaging story with twists. I mean, it's dark turns. It's very unpredictable. How, especially for you, Katharine and Lou, how did you approach your characters? For you, Lou, you don't speak a whole lot. There's a lot of just facial expressions in this, and you, Katharine, I mean, you have a range where you're crazy, you're calm, you're all over.
I think for me, what's really, for this especially, was really important was the hair, makeup, and wardrobe. Because once you step into that and it's so intense that you yourself sort of evaporate and you just are Vana all of a sudden. This script, like the writing was so great for her rants, and I just kind of fundamentally understood her on so many levels. I mean, this is that chick that you accidentally invite into your tent at Burning Man, and then you have some regrets about that. I definitely understood her on a fundamental level, and so it was sort of it was easy once all the pieces were there, and the hair and the makeup and the wardrobe. It wasn't a big stretch, weirdly.
That's fair.
What a wonderful summary of the character. In 2 lines, the girl you accidentally invite into your tent at Burning Man. I could not. All my direction. Forget everything else. All the blah blah.
Everyone had that moment.
Mine was from the prep. It was all in the prep, because you have to come on to the scene with all that darkness behind you, all that darkness in your eyes, because he doesn't get to speak a lot. And so creating stories that had happened to me, very specific stories, really helped, because he has been abused, molested, neglected, watched his parents die in a horrific car accident. Like, so many things have happened to this guy for so long. And the military is the thing that saved him. So I clung to the military in my understanding of how to create this character. I was just like, it already says he's emaciated, so I want to lose as much weight as I can, but I want to try and keep muscle building up, because I think military type guy, and at the same time, live in that world of being abused and neglected and sad and scared and needing help from other people in order to just have a normal life. So I had to come into it all in the prep. And the big thing that Daniel did for us was to give me and Carla a great day of creating stories together and talking about our real lives, so that we could both create stories for these characters that we had, but also know a lot about each other, because coming onto the scene, we're supposed to be family. So, and this really is a movie about saving your family. So we needed to relate to each other in that way.
This comes out July 3rd in theaters. Everybody go check it out. Go watch this dark story. I mean, there's a lot to it, and I really enjoyed it. Daniel, read that other script, because I would love to know what it is to see if you make it.
Will do.
Thank you, all three of you, for taking time out of your day to chat with me.
Thank you, Brad.
Have a good one, Brad. Thank you so much.
I want to thank the three of them for taking time out of their day to talk to me. It was an absolute blast to talk to them. I wish I could have had more time to chat. We only got 10 minutes. I could have easily talked to them for 20. They were amazing. They were fantastic. And I had an absolute blast with them. And absolutely hilarious hearing Daniel talk about, he had 2 scripts and just picked that first one. And so funny. But Lockbox, this movie of this woman who takes in her cousin after, he's come back from war, some PTSD going on, and maybe some other things afoot. Katharine Isabelle's character is the quirky neighbor. I loved how she put it in the interview. That person you accidentally invite into your tent at Burning Man. That actually hits her character in this film perfectly. Absolutely perfectly. This movie, it kind of goes along. There are many dark things at play here. Is it possession? Is it something else? You don't really know. And there's a nice twist to everything in this, kind of how the name Lockbox came about. The original title of the film was called Winthrop, about Lou Taylor Pucci's character, whose name is Winthrop. I think Lockbox kind of fits it a little better for what it is that happens in this film. I am not going to give away that because it's a nice little change to a kind of a dark, possessed story. And Daniel Stamm, who also directed The Last Exorcism and Pray for the Devil, which I know a lot of people don't like Pray for the Devil. I was a big fan of that one. I thought it was just a good possession movie. You know, you can kind of see his style. He has a way of kind of doing this dark imagery, these tense moments, these dark moments. Lou Taylor Pucci in this movie, he doesn't have very many lines. A lot of it has to be played, you know, either with facial expressions, with the way he kind of moves, with the way he kind of reacts to things happening around him, to where you kind of wonder, is he the one we should worry about? What is going on here? What is happening? I like that the movie kind of keeps you guessing a bit. There were a couple moments where it felt that it kind of jumped a bit, but honestly, that didn't affect the watch for me because in the end, I did enjoy this movie. I would recommend it. I think it is a good, dark, supernatural, dark entity story that plays out really well. And as I said, I want to go listen to the Knife Point Horror podcast story that this is based off of, as well as looking forward to seeing the next one, Fiona, as it's titled right now or called right now. If it kind of hits that same way or if it's in a similar universe, I don't know. I don't know if those stories are connected in any way, but Lockbox, put it on that watch list. I really enjoyed it. So the double feature for this one, honestly, is just going to be another Daniel Stamm movie. Whether you do The Last Exorcism or you do Pray for the Devil, either one of those two movies play with this movie very well. They kind of play off each other, could play well together. Pick one. Pick one or the other. Pray for the Devil, The Last Exorcism. Make that your double feature. Have yourself a Daniel Stamm night. Enjoy some dark imagery, some possessions, some creepy elements, creepy moments, because that's what I would pick. As I head out, I want to tell you about the action thriller Crime 101 is now on 4K and DVD. Chris Hemsworth stars as an elusive jewel thief who eyes the score of a lifetime, but he must evade relentless detectives who are closing in on his string of heists. Also starring Mark Ruffalo, Barry Keoghan, and Halle Berry. Own Crime 101 now on 4K and DVD. This is one I have not seen. Looking forward to checking it out. The cast alone sells me on this. Well, that will do it for another episode of Tomb of Terrors. Just make sure you subscribe to the show so you don't miss anything that happens over here, whether these interview episodes, short reviews that I do, Tales from Tubi versus that I do with my wife, or The Year of Paul Nashi, where we're watching a Paul Nashi movie a month with a guest, and we're talking about it, as well as additional reviews over Patreon, and make sure you check out the Tomb of Terrors YouTube page. And lastly, it's July. It's the month of action. I will have some month of action episodes coming. Our friends over at B Action Podcast and many other podcasts involved in the month of action. It's an absolute blast. Crossovers all over the place. And go check out B Action and all the shows involved with the month of action. I'll be back soon with a brand new episode. Just snuggle up in that blanket, turn off the lights, because it's okay to be scared. We'll talk to you later, everybody.